Welcome back. The NASCAR world really in shock this morning over the sudden death of legendary driver Kyle Busch. The 41-year-old was a two-time Cup Series champion. CBS News correspondent Tom Hanson takes a look at his life and career.
Kyle Busch is going to add his name to the illustrious list of Brickyard 400 winners.
Shock reverberating through the racing world after the sudden death of one of NASCAR's greats, Kyle Busch.
Final lap of the race, 2.5-second lead.
Nicknamed Rowdy for his aggressive style on the track, the 41-year-old loved to win and hated to lose.
Mecca of trophies.
He won more races across the sport's 3 national series than any other driver in history, with 234 wins. And clinched 2 Cup Series titles in 2015 and 2019.
Maybe I found my happy place. I don't know. Happy Gilmore, he found his happy place and he just dominated at the end, so maybe I found that too. But
11 days before he died, Busch radioed his team during the race at the Watkins Glen Cup Series.
Can somebody try to find Bill Heisel? He's the Hendrick doctor guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please. I'm going to need a shot.
According to the TV broadcast, he'd had a sinus cold, exacerbated by intense G-forces on the track. Last week, he was asked how he was feeling.
Do you feel better after whatever was bothering you in the car last week that you needed help for?
You can kind of still hear it. I'm still not great, but the cough was pretty substantial last week.
Yesterday, his family announced Busch was hospitalized and died a short time later. A cause of death has not been released. The Las Vegas native made his NASCAR debut in 2003 and burst onto the race scene just 1 year after his older brother, NASCAR Hall of Famer Kurt Busch, won the 2004 Cup Championship. Throughout his career, Kyle Busch drove for 3 Hall of Fame team owners, including Joe Gibbs and Richard Childress.
Absolutely dominated.
Busch's death came just 4 days after his final win in the NASCAR Truck Series at Dover Motor Speedway.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
because you never know when the last one is,
And with that, he took his last signature bow. I'm Tom Hanson.
And earlier on CBS Morning, 7-time Cup Series champ Jimmy Johnson and owner of Legacy Motor Club shared his reaction to Busch's death. Let's listen to that.
He's definitely was an individual that had a very a great personality behind the wheel. His nickname was Rowdy, and a fierce competitor, but then at the same time, helmet comes off with his family. Just a dad, a husband, and somebody that cared deeply about his children and heavily involved. So, the guy off the track is somebody I'll certainly remember most, and just, again, feel for his family and his young children growing up with this void, experiencing some tragedy on my own and understanding, the implications is, we still try to continue on. My heart breaks for him.
And in a joint statement, the Busch family and NASCAR said Kyle was a, quote, rare talent, one that comes along once in a generation.